and I should have grabbed my water. I have had a very interesting last couple of days and some experiences with people over the years. And it's really come to a head today, so I wanted to address it. It's very interesting when political stuff starts happening. Well, actually, it's not even just political stuff, just stuff in general that happens. And I state my opinion, and then people get bent out of shape because it's not what they think a spiritual teacher should think. And they say, oh, practice what you preach. And, oh my God, that is so unethical. And I'm like, why? I have my own opinions about things. One of the biggest thing that I preach is taking personal responsibility for your life. Figuring out what you want and going after it and getting it. And the thing that really upsets me in today's society is when someone who has never been there, done that, makes radical claims about certain things and demands that someone believes something else. So this thing that has happened over the last couple days, there's been this thing with Trump and the transgender, community. And I stated an opinion about it, being former military, being a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, and someone got all bent out of shape. And I was like, okay, you've never been in the military before. You don't know what it's like. And I was merely stating facts of what it's like being in the service. When you're in boot camp, you strip naked several times a day. And if someone has a penis and everybody else has a vagina, and there's people in the platoon that have vaginas that have been sexually assaulted, and they see somebody with a penis, PTSD is probably going to happen. There's going to be some shit going down. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in a platoon that's all male or all physical males, they have penises, and you have a vagina, and you're the only one that has a vagina, regardless how you identify, shit's gonna happen. That's just how it is when you're in the service. That's why when you train separately for the most part in the Marine Corps. I do not know what it's like when you're in the Army and all the other ones, but in the Marine Corps, everything is separated so that you can stay mission focused. When you are in your barracks, half of the side of the barracks are females and the other half are males. And I was just stating these facts, and it's interesting because I was just stating the facts, and I say I can see why he made that decision if it's based on this. And this person that we were kind of butting heads was really pissed and just saying, oh, you need to practice what you preach. And I'm like, you preach tolerance, yet you're not honoring my opinion about this. And this is a really big deal. This is a really big learning opportunity for everybody. Hey, kitty. Do you really have tolerance for everyone in your life? Do you really have tolerance for the people that think or view things differently than you? Okay? Ask yourself this. Really ask yourself, how do you feel about this gamut of emotions, these gamut of things? How do you feel about abortion? How do you feel about same-sex marriage? How do you feel about opposite-sex marriage? How do you feel about white people? How do you feel about black people? How do you feel about cats on tables? How do you feel about milk? How do you feel about eating meat? How do you feel about being vegan? How do you feel about all of these things? And when you can recognize how you feel about the little things and about the big things and why, then what happens is all of a sudden you know where you stand. You know where you're at. You know who you are, what you stand for, what you like, what you don't like, what you resonate with, what you don't resonate with. This is something I've been preaching forever. Question everything. That is one of the biggest things that I teach in my classes. Question everything. And if you are feeling pissed off all the time, I literally just talked about this last week about getting over yourself. if you are constantly being offended by others and think others need to agree with you, I would challenge you for that. You have to do some inner work. If you're constantly getting pissed off and you're constantly feeling jaded and you're feeling oppressed and you're feeling all these other things, okay, well, hello. If you're always feeling that way, or you think or assume someone should feel or think or be or act or do something how you think that they should instead of letting them just be who they are you really as tolerant and as accepting as you say you are? This is one of the things that has been the most shocking in my life, especially since the election, is people in my life who I've really come to believe were very tolerant and very accepting of everyone. Turns out they're not. If you voted a certain way, oh my gosh, they've unfriended you and and I'm like, why? We're all Americans. We're all Americans here. We're all in this together. That's it. We're all in this together. You know, we can have different opinions, but hello, it takes a village. It takes a freaking tribe. And this is a beautiful thing about America. But the thing that really upsets me is when people don't honor someone else's educated opinion. I've been in the military. I know what it's like. And do I agree with certain things? Yes and no. I see both sides of the story. I see both sides of the picture. You know, I'm not saying the transgender people should or shouldn't be in it. That's not my place to say. All I know is my experience as a female in a female body in the service. And it's interesting because when you claim or you state your opinion, how people that supposedly are tolerant and accepting of everybody all of a sudden aren't. And then they sling the practice what you preach at me, saying I'm not practicing what I preach. No, I very much am. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I stand for. I know that I always try to see all the sides of the story, but I'm still going to make my own choice. I'm still going to make my own decision. And that decision is based on what feels the best for me using my intuition and feels the best for me and what I know in my life. And I actually find it really sad when people don't give that opportunity to others in their life. They don't give the opportunity to let others be themselves, to think for themselves, to act for themselves. And it's so interesting when people put others inside of a box or inside of a preconceived expectation or notion or mold that they think that you need to be because you are in a specific profession. Yes, I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a business coach. I'm also a mom of 2 boys. I'm also the youngest of 7 daughters. I'm also a United States Marine veteran. What else? I've also had an affair with somebody. A lot of people condemn me for that. That's okay. That's not my business. I don't care what you think about me. You know, let me see. I've also been an actor. I've also written music. I have, what else have I done? I've jumped out of airplanes. You know, there's a lot of things that we do. I've tried drugs. I've tried marijuana. I've had alcohol before. You know, there's a lot of things that you do that some people will condemn you for and never forgive you. And other times people are like, yeah, whatever, just do what you do, you know. And that's the thing, is that how tolerant are you really of people? How tolerant are you? For me, I'm very tolerant. Where I draw the line is if you say you're one way and then your actions speak volumes. Volumes. When I see people that are hypocrites, when I see people that say, oh yeah, I'm tolerant, but if you don't agree with me, I'm out, and I'm going to badmouth you and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. No skin off my back, really. This is what I preach. I've been preaching this from day one, and this is what I want to challenge you today. Do you practice what you preach? Do you practice what you preach? I really want to know. And allow yourself to really think about this. Really. Unless you've walked in someone's shoes, you have no clue what it is like. You have no clue. I've been kicked out before. My stepmom and my dad kicked me out when I was 16. Unless you've been kicked out, you have no clue what that's like. Years ago, I went to this goddess festival, and it was for women born women. And there was a lot of people. This festival was once every 2 years. Okay, once every 2 years. So once every like 700 days, these women met for a 3-day period. That's it, to connect with the goddess and with their bodies. And there was some transgender women who wanted to go that were born male and female but hadn't transitioned physically yet. And the organizers said that those people were not allowed. And I really had to stop and think about this. And I'm just like, okay, so how do I feel about this? And honestly, I felt, you know what? Part of that goddess ritual or the event was stripping down naked, and all of us are naked in a circle, and we look at the mirror and we look at ourselves in the mirror as we came into this world, and we honor our blood cycles, our moon cycles, we honor our body, we honor our ovaries and everything like this. And I chose not to go because there supposedly was supposed to be male bodies there, and I didn't want to be naked in front of someone that had a penis. Okay, regardless of how you identify, that made me uncomfortable, and I didn't want to go. And my thing was, if you are part of a select group of people and you are looking for healing, be with that people, be with your tribe. I don't know what it's like to be transgender. I don't know what it's like to be gay. I don't know what it's like to be Muslim. I don't know what it's like to be black or African American or someone from Africa. I don't know what it's like to be from France. I mean, that's where my ancestors are, but I live in America. You know, I don't know what it's like to be in the Navy. I was in the Marine Corps. I don't know what it's like for people that have been you know, in certain situations. I can only relate to where I've been. And that is the beauty of all of these different groups that we have, is it gives you that safe sanctuary to be part of that group, to be part of that tribe, to have healing. And the reason why I didn't go to that goddess festival that year was because I felt like it was a slap in the face. It was like once every 700 days, we come together for 3 days, women born women, to honor our bodies and to honor the goddess within us and around us and above us and below us. And to honor, and you know, and it's just like, I actually have a very, very dear friend of mine who is part of a group of parents of murdered children. So I would not go to that because I have not experienced, I'm not part of that group. And so when I pretend to know what it's like, I have no freaking clue, and I don't want to know what it's like. I don't want to know what it's like to be, you know, in any other space than my own, simply because I have enough to deal with in my space. And this is one of the best things that you can do as a spiritual being, having a human experience, is to intimately know your experience enough so that you can consciously and constructively convey it to someone else. Okay, I'm a female Marine. Not a whole lot of people have been there, done that. And so when someone's like, oh my God, you were in the Marine Corps? You totally don't look like it. What was it like? And I share with them my experience because I've been there, done that. You know, I've had headmates when I was in the Marine Corps that were in the Navy. And so we would talk all the time, you know. And it's so vastly different because their training was very different than our training. And I can't pretend to know what it's like. All I can do is seek to understand first. And that's what I do as a teacher, as a person, as a mom, as a daughter, as an aunt, as everything else. I seek first to understand. And what I do when I see something, I'm like, all right, and I try to take the meta view or like the overview, and I try to see all sides of the story. But I'm still going to take my point of view. I'm still going to say, okay, after I've collected all this data, after I've really looked at and seen and explored all of this information, what do I feel is true for me? I'm not here to say what's right or wrong for anybody else. I think everybody should get married. I think everybody should have all the rights that everybody else does, because we're all humans. We're all on this planet Earth to just live and be happy and be fulfilled. All I know is that I have the right to constructively say, I don't like that, or I do like that, because That's part of being human. That's part of having well, just a brain and a consciousness, you know. And when you allow yourself to hold your truth and speak your truth and stand in your truth and saying, hey, this is what I believe, this is what I don't believe, or this is what resonates with me, and this is what that doesn't really resonate with me. And I was born Catholic. I don't resonate with being Catholic anymore. I really consider myself more spiritual, kind of like that universal spiritual. And however, I don't ostracize people that are Catholic or Muslim or Jewish or anything else. It's rock on. If you love that, woohoo, go for it, you know. And that's one of the things, is when you can give yourself permission to own your truth and stand in your truth no matter how much arrows are being slung at you, that's tenacity. That right there is standing in your truth and practicing what you preach. That truly, truly is. And I've seen people under pressure sway and say, oh yeah, okay, whatever, when they really don't believe that, or they really don't resonate with that. So that is the ultimate stand of and proof that you're doing the work in your spiritual practice, is if you literally can say what you truly believe. What you truly believe. And that you say, yes, this is what I believe and this is why I believe in it. But the thing that I absolutely don't tolerate is when somebody says, oh yeah, well that's not true and this is why, and you need to stop believing that, and you're a hypocrite and you're a liar and you're unethical and you need to practice what you preach. It's like, oh bullshit. This is my truth. You can't tell me what my truth is. The only person that knows my truth is me. I don't know what it's like to be gay. I don't know what it's like to be transgender. I don't know what it's like to be a male. I don't know what it's like to be anybody else but me. That's it. That's it. And when you can give yourself permission to be you, unabashedly you, I mean, just stripped down naked, just you. That is it. That is the ultimate essence. But when somebody tries to control you, or they try to fit you into this box, you know it, because you're going to feel it. Especially with this election, and especially with all the stuff that's going around on social media. It's shocking to see how the people that say they're tolerant and want acceptance and want people to accept them as they are, that they don't accept people as you are. And I'm talking both sides. I'm talking both sides, both wing, okay? Left wing, right wing. We are all part of the same bird, people, okay? We are all part of the same bird. And I really want you all to think about this. This is something that really must be addressed. It really, truly must be addressed. Do you practice what you preach? Do you practice what you preach? Do you have double standards? There's a lot of people that I know that have double standards. They do something, it's like, do as I say, not as I do. No. And I'm very black and white in a lot of my thinking. Will that change? Sure, quite possibly. I change my mind all the freaking time. Those of you who know me, you know I love to do taste tests. I love to explore things. I love to do this and that and everything else. And I very much change my mind a lot. But when I change my mind, I'm like, okay, so this is how I feel. Boom. And yes, a lot of people think it's black and white thinking. Okay, fine. Yeah, I am very black and white in a lot of my thinking because I've been there, done that. I've explored things. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt exactly how I feel, what resonates with me, what doesn't resonate with me. And so many people nowadays are so afraid to speak their mind and speak their truth that it's really quite sad that you're constantly censoring yourself. You can tactfully deliver your message without pissing people off. And if you get pissed off when you hear a tactful message, you probably have some work to do. So this is probably going to be the end of this video, but I really just want to encourage all of you. Again, this is one of the things, I may have to add this to my blog post that I did last week, because I did 3 videos in succession about, getting over yourself. We all need to get over ourselves. We all need to get off our high horse. We all need to recognize that we're truly all in this together. Look at my cat. He's such a hoot. He's like, what up, everybody? This is baby kitty people. Yay, the star of the show. But yeah, I mean, if you're constantly getting pissed off, if you're constantly being offended and constantly feeling like, oh my God, life's against me, okay, chill the fuck out and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I taking such offense to this? And do the work. The work comes with you doing like journaling. It's you know, talking with a coach or a therapist or a trusted advisor or a trusted friend. It's not slinging arrows. It's not posting all this research to back up what you say. All right, fine, do your research, tell me all this stuff. That's not going to change my opinion because I've been there, done that. My time in the service, I know what I experienced. That's it. Dylan, yes, just live. Let's just live. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing is just it's very interesting. I'm just going to say watching the dynamics of the people that I follow and the people that I come in contact with when I speak my truth. Like I said, I'm a very diverse person. I'm a business owner. I am a single mom of 2 boys. I'm a veteran of the Marine Corps. I have had a lot of experiences. I have a former parent of mine who's an alcoholic. So I'm a recovering codependent. There's a lot of labels that I hold. And all of that has given me experience that gives me my own personal opinion about certain things. And things that I will tolerate, absolutely tolerate 24/7. And then there's other things that I will absolutely not tolerate in any way, shape, or form. And one of those is people telling me how I need to be or not to be. To be or not to be, that is the question. To quote Shakespeare. Anyway, that's my thespian coming out in me. Anyway, for those of you who don't know what a thespian is, it is an actor. So, thank you, Joseph, for sharing. So, anyway, let's all just be fucking happy. And, you know, it truly takes a village. We're all in this together. We all just need to get over ourselves and recognize differing opinions are awesome. It's amazing. I love when people have different opinions because then we can see each other's side of it and see how passionate we are. But the thing that I won't tolerate is when somebody ostracizes me and says, well, you're not practicing what you preach. Au contraire, mon frère, this is exactly what I preach. Exactly what I preach. Have an opinion, have some truth, and speak and stand by your truth tactfully. And know when to quit. Know when to say, you know what, I have to honor your opinion, but I don't resonate with that. That's not my truth, but rock on with your bad self. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, I think my cat probably wants to eat. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, I love him. Anyway, all right, everyone, have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your day, and I will speak with all of you soon. Bye.